Even
Yeah,
not focusing on sniper, they just kill everyone else. I mean, that's kind of strange.
yeah, that didn't make too much sense to me. They were pretty good about focusing the sniper in earlier battles, and we see the epic mana drain right there from the line. But but and I was like looking at his mana. He had no reason to do that. He was at I think like 1,000 mana at the time, so I'm not really sure what that was about. Just for fun, I guess. Another epic swap, and is that going to save Rigor's life? Epic mana drain again. I guess that's what happens when you have no mana regeneration on this line. And this game's over for sure, but this game is definitely worth talking about a little bit. I wonder why it really does look like it to me that the level of play from Nirvana went down a little bit as the game went on. They were perfect in their target selection in earlier battles, but like in that last battle, like you said, Sniper just sat there picking off one hero after the next, as there was no focus fire from Nirvana, and it's just maybe it was just that complete overconfidence that they got from taking out 2 lanes. I really don't know what it was, what had happened. There was really no excuse, I think, for not targeting the Sniper there, and targeting him last. In fact, I'm not entirely sure. What do you think about that?
I think overconfidence might be one thing, and also I'm injecting another theory, is that how often do you play against Sniper, Zeus, Rigro, and you get every tank item in the game? I don't think Nirvana has ever practiced anything remotely near this kind of thing.
Right.
And when you play, when these Chinese professional players, they played against a lot of stuff, but I don't think this is one of the things that they practiced on and played against a lot. So this was actually a very surprising strategy. So a lot of the blunder might be coming from, just like I've never seen it, so you caught me off guard. But again, like they did a very good job at early on focusing on a sniper. So another theory might be, it's like how you deal with Dusa. I really can't kill the Dusa because she's so tank. So my other option is I'll kill all 4 of your teammates, and then I will deal with the Dusa later. So with a sniper, like he was really sniper was really positioning himself really far back. So can't really kill the sniper without investing too much in it. So why don't I just kill all 4 of you guys, linebackers, and then I'll deal with the Dusa. I think deal with the sniper. So I think that might also be a valid reasoning, but I really am not sure as well.
Yeah, but like in that last team counter, for sure, it was less like he was standing in the background, and actually he was almost placed kind of in the middle, actually, just shooting.
Yeah, I just can't find him. Maybe Sentinel couldn't find him either. Like.
Yeah. That is one thing about Sniper, is that it's if you play hard to get enough, they'll just give up targeting you. So maybe that's what had happened, is that they're like, oh fuck it, we'll go for someone else, and then at that point it's all about timing, and if he makes the decision to start getting in the midst of things right when they make the decision to stop attacking him, and that's just good play by Sniper. So who knows? But normally we see recoveries, and you'll see like, hey, there's a Sniper there. That's especially when you have the amount of disables that Nirvana has. Just if you just keep him disabled, you don't need. If we noticed, Nirvana was throwing a lot of their disables on Rigwell, and that's great early, mid game when he's chasing you down. But late game, he's doing just as much damage to you disabled as he is not disabled. Like you want to save that instead for the Sniper. But
yeah, I think that's also the hard to get theory from Sniper, because he also has a BKB as well. So I mean that's kind of So I mean we've been bagging on Sniper's item choices, but I know you could kind of defend it, like the BKB, the Molnair for the anti-push. You could kind of defend those positions. However, you cannot defend the Zeus item set. Like BKB, that's kind of like, okay, Merlini did it, so other people could do it, but like, come on, the Aga stick, I think a Force Staff would be a lot more helpful, a Cyclone would be a lot more helpful, anything other than the Aga would be really a lot more helpful.
Yeah, so I think a Cyclone would have been invaluable in place of that, just on so many occasions, just like, I almost think if you see an Enigma on the other team, you got to pick up the Cyclone. It's just the instant disable, or maybe a Gwynzu or something, just one of those two, you needed one. So that was a little bit disappointing. That actually could have made a big difference. And as you said, actually, Force Staff, not a bad buy either.
But I definitely saw Venge forcing his teammate out of the black hole once or twice in the game. So that definitely showcasing why Force Staff a good item against Enigma. Also, item choices on both sides is like, what the hell, WTF, because this is not your standard game. So if you're one of the newer players, trying to find out what to buy online, you do not get a Talisman of Evasion, and you do not get a or any of these items to be exact, other than the BLT. But Lion picking up a very smart late game item. I think a lot of people don't give credit to Vlad's Aura as a plus damage late game, and that's that's quite respectable plus percent damage in late game.
Yeah.
Talisman Evasion is kind of a lull in terms of anti sniper sort of.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a game you're not going to see every once in a while. This is 1 in 100. This is a game you'll only see 1 in every 100 replays that you watch. So this is definitely not something that we're going to see. We're not going to see a trendy Zeus picks after this game. Certainly after this performance. But and
although this is the second time we've seen Vanguard Enigma, I don't know.
That's true.
Coincidence or bad play? I don't know.
But they took it a step further this game going. He sold that Vanguard, by the way, if you look at his items.
And he got a heart.
Had more tanky items. He also got basically every tanky item in the book with the mech, the pipe, the Shiva, the heart, and he had a Vanguard. So, and the strength treads. It's just hilarious. It's almost like, I mean, no matter how much Ice Frog wants to nerf tank items, it's not going to be enough. People are gonna.
Yeah, I mean, the Chinese went back to the best route, which is not dying and turtling to the very end. And in retrospect, let's discuss whether you think Nirvana. I mean, of course they won, but do you think they couldn't have won in any other way? Like if they stuck with their ganking gun hole strategy, like blinking and everything, they could not have won? Or you think that this was more the safe route to victory kind of thing?
I think this is a 67-minute game that could have been a 40-minute game. Honestly, I think if Yafets had gone Dagger first instead of Hood first, I think that actually would have paid off. And
even against a Ribro and a Zeus.
The Zeus is good for preventing those team fights blinking, but what do we see from Yafet solo mid? How he normally plays his line, he picks up his dagger and then he ganks. It's
right.
It's you can't just have Wrath is on a really long cooldown. It's not gonna. He can't really do preventative wraths. You can't really see when it's gonna come. I think that would have actually really paid off, especially too against a sniper and a Zeus who are defenseless once you get up next to him. So I think it actually could have been a much quicker game. Sure, this did work, but it was actually risky. You might think they played it safe by going the tank items. There's one time they lost the big encounter and there's the mid push, but they didn't get very far. It's kind of risky. I think they played this game out a little longer than it would have if they had, if Yafet still, he could have gotten his defensive items, but just get the dagger, I don't know. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I mean, this game, you could debate all day because really it's hard to compare it to any other because there's just no sample size. That one game where they all got hoods, like you really can't compare. As my sister started yelling in the background, so excuse that.
Cool.
Any other thing to say, Ian? Like, I'm really all out of ideas for this game because really, I have no past experience with this, so I have no idea.
No, and honestly, there's not much to learn from this game because we're not going to see a repeat. We didn't see perfect play, in my opinion. This is not like perfect Dota right here, but a lot of that is because it's very experimental. I think Nirvana, probably they're all sitting around next to each other right at their computers, and they saw the Zeus pick and they're like, all right, everyone hoods. Like, that's what happened, Like, I don't see how else it could go that way, and they took it to a total extreme, but we're not going to see Zeus very much from here on out, and if you're not going to see a Zeus, we're definitely not going to see 5 hood, or I guess it's only 4 hoods, but still interesting game nonetheless.
Yeah. Sorry.
But
I thought Sven did not get a hood. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't. But and he was actually, if you think about it, the tank items did do a lot. The number of times that DGC got swapped by Vengeful Spirit, and when he got swapped, he would survive, as you had said earlier, with his mech and everything, and his pipe. But a couple of those encounters, we actually saw Sven went down very fast. And if, without a Vanguard Hood, it just shows the power of Vanguard Hood and why it is so popular, even on the ranged heroes. But I'm actually really surprised, on why we don't see more. It's double the damage block for the melee people, yet we see the Vanguards remaining on the ranged heroes. And not on the melees. But anyway, so those are my 2 cents. But what a game!
I'm out of sense. So
yeah,
I think that's
you're out of sense as well. Yeah, 55-43 kill count. Definitely.
It definitely didn't feel like a 55-43 kill count game. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Crazy play from both sides. crazy choices and. Man,
Yeah,
this is
it's like all these team fights. Like, oh, there's a team fight happening. Let me answer a phone call, and when I come back, it's still going on. It's like no one's dying.
Yeah.
And really, I was a couple of times through the team fight, I was running out of breath.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, Sniper's shooting more people. All right, and Zeus is not dead, but he's not doing shit. So, okay.
Yeah, it actually was reminiscent of a pub game in a lot of ways. In that, in pub games, chaser heroes are very popular.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
there's a lot of one-on-one chase, but there was a lot of chasing in this game. Where Rigworld's running around and you're getting like slimed and run out, and it doesn't matter because like your teammates are all gone for whatever reason. Maybe the battle is already over. It just a lot of parts of it were actually reminiscent of a pub game, and like all the chasing that happened. And rather, we're so used to seeing, as you had said before, you go farm on your own, and then later in the game you're gonna have a big clash. And whoever wins that wins the game. And normally it takes place in like 10 seconds. And when I'm watching the replay, sometimes I'll go to like half speed so I can actually, it's like I'm not going to watch 40 minutes of game to miss, a couple of the kills as I try to watch the 10 seconds of mayhem. But it was not at all like that in this game. The whole game was a running battle, which was a little refreshing to be honest. But
yeah. And it definitely was a little hard on us catching every action. I think this game would have been very good under Zoom mode, to be honest. Like this was a good Zoom mode game. But
I agree.
Okay,
right.
I think we're done. Let's not waste more frap space on Luminous's computer.
You've already probably taken the space of 2 games at this point, but.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it off. Hope you guys enjoyed this really long commentary. And for Ian and Luminous, this is us signing off. GG.
Yeah, peace out.